Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aquarius in mid-September 2020. What is going on, Aquarius? How are you all doing? I hope you are doing well. All right, my friends, wherever you are in the world, please be safe, happy, healthy, and secure. I'm wishing the best for all of you who are watching this video, who are in this energy. Please continue to take very good care of yourselves and each other, and the folks that you know and love that are close to you and that you care for. Please continue to strive to stay on top of things. 2020 has proven to be a difficult year for many of us. So just keep holding down the fort as much as you can. All right. Aquarius, no other announcements, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Anything you want from me, friends, it is in the description box already. So if you want to see the timestamp, it is down there. If you want to see the information on how to go about purchasing a personal reading with me, it is down there. If you have a question before you place an order, just email me at the same address. I'll answer you as soon as I can. And if you want to follow me on Instagram at EmpathicFire Tarot, the link for that is in the description box as well, okay? All right, guys, let's get into it. Mid-month messages for Aquarius in mid-September 2020. Messages, energies, and insights, please. That's good. They like this one. All right. Yep, very good. All right, Aquarius, let's see what's coming out. Whoa, did something flip? Yes. All right, Sun card. Take it. Okay, thank you. One more, please, for Aquarius in mid-September 2020. Mid-September 2020 for Aquarius. Final card, please, to start. The bottom of this. Interesting. Look at them, making me do things I don't normally do. Interesting. All right, let's get into it. The Sun came out first, and then you had the Eight of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. All right. Sun, secondary major for Leo. Eight of Swords. And the Queen of Pentacles. Whatever is transpiring in your life, Aquarius, I'm getting like a strong feeling of destiny coming off of this Sun card. Like it's kind of whatever you're going through, even though it might suck or even though it might be difficult, it's kind of the way it was supposed to be. And and sort of like this attitude, not attitude, but like this idea of, there we go, idea of, and this too shall pass, right? Because the Sun is one of the most magnanimous cards in the tarot deck. It's one of the most auspicious or positive cards that you can get. But then in the center, you have this Eight of Swords, which is a difficult energy. And it's surmountable. It's a minor arcana, so it's not like it's forever or it's... But in the moment, to live through the Eight of Swords is very difficult. But so that's what I'm feeling. Like someone here, I'm going to address it as you, Aquarius. It could be someone else. It is a general, so feel free to flip it around if you have to. But there's like an anguish. But despite that anguish, the stress or whatever is going on, there's still something positive to come from it. The sun always rises, what's that musical? Annie? The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar, da, 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 da. I don't know the words to it. But I mean, that's kind of like, that story and those lyrics are pretty much, look at me, I'm an orphan. People tried to defraud this orphanage or run a scam to, get this, what was it? Like she has a precious piece of jewelry or something, whatever. And like her circumstances are so crummy and it's a little kid and not, I'm not saying you're living like Orphan Annie or something, but somebody whose circumstances are so bad, but then they remain optimistic. That's what this feels like. It feels like there's a need or a nudging, a suggestion that someone were to remain positive despite what's going on, right? Because like I said, this Sun card, are not really arguably, I think most tarot readers would agree that this is known to be the most positive card in the deck. There are attributes to it which are not great, or there are elements to it that are not always what is necessary in a situation. Like I said, maybe for some of you, there's this call or this urge, or there's this, people around you who are like, chin up, Aquarius, things aren't that bad, and you're just kind of like in the mood or in this mindset of misery, and you're not here for it. So, but anyway, as this card affects your reading, it feels like in your life somewhere, Aquarius, there is a bright spot, or there will be a bright spot, or again, this too shall pass. In time, whatever is affecting you now or residual from the recent past, it will eventually dissipate. It will eventually disappear from your life. The sun also is an illuminator, right? If you think about what the sun literally is in our galaxy, it is how we see. If the sun is down, I mean, the moon is a reflective energy. It does generate some type of illumination, but it's not its own source. The source of natural light in our galaxy is the sun. So there's something possibly in your life that will be revealed to you, or that there's a revelation coming, if not a reveal. There could be a personal awakening or a personal, aha moment, which I would think is the case for most of you, because what I'm really getting is, Aquarius, you're kind of in this Eight of Swords energy. And again, it doesn't have to be you. It is a general. But whoever this is, like I said, I used the word, what did I say? Anguish? Definitely. But thank you. They're like, remember what this is. The traditional understanding of the Eight of Swords is, I don't want to say mountain out of molehills, because that's not exactly it. It's more of a, negative self-talk, self-doubt, feeling as if whatever you're going through, whatever stage or phase or circumstances that you're dealing with, it just will never improve. And there's like this feeling of stuckness. There's a feeling or a sentiment of having no more moves left, no more options, and just being tied and bound, as you can see the woman in the card, tied and bound to whatever you're experiencing in this moment. And that is self-defeating energy, right? It's self-deprecation. It's not positive self-talk. And it's also right on its face, or quite objectively, asinine. There's nothing in life that you cannot change or is static, is stagnant. There are moments of that. There are long periods of that, sure. But nothing, for the most part, is ever always true, right? And that is just how life is. When you're born an infant, you don't remain an infant your entire life. You grow, right? You mature, right? You go through biological, physiological, emotional, and mental changes. All of that stuff happens naturally without any input, for the most part, right? Without too much bother by individuals and what you choose to do or say or where you choose to be. That stuff will happen organically on a chemical level, on a biochemical level in your body, right? So the idea, I don't know, that's just the way that I link things or make sense of the world a lot. Is like, what happens in the natural world? Do things naturally grow, change, evolve? Do things seem static for a while, but then eventually something changes? You could also think of it if you think about the seasons, right? In much of the world, seasons change, And not to, politicize or do anything like that, even though it doesn't always feel that way much anymore, And there still are seasons, right? So when spring is over, summer comes along, and then once summer's done, fall or autumn comes into place, and then winter comes. And we do it over and over and over again. But someone here just feels like none of that, like, I'm trying to make a correlation in that I feel I feel like someone feels or believes of themselves, believes of their circumstances, that I will never be able to do or have or be XYZ. I'll never have the capacity to go blah, blah, blah place, or live here, or there, or whatever. You know what I mean? There's just like this tunnel vision. It's small-minded. It's defeatist energy. And I'm not here for it because it doesn't make sense to me. And maybe you're telling someone this if you're not experiencing this, Aquarius. Maybe you're saying that to somebody else. Like, why do you think your circumstances are immovable or so stagnant? That's not true. And I get it. We all get in these moods where nothing seems to matter. No matter how hard you try, you always end up at square one, or you don't seem to make any difference, or there doesn't seem to be much change occurring in your life or in your path, and you don't feel capable. We all have those feelings, but someone is like really believing it, like they believe they were made to fail, or they were made to suffer. They were made to be at the mercy of other people, because that's the other thing. This person, even though in tarot, we talk about this being someone having, negative self-talk or, a limited self-perception. That all stands. But if you really think about it, if this was a literal scene that you happened upon out in the world, just, going about your grocery shopping, and you see someone kneeling down in a pool of water with a bunch of swords, floating around them or stuck in the ground around them, whatever it is, I think most of us would assume that person didn't put themselves there, or at least they weren't single-handed in doing it. So that's kind of what I'm sensing. Yes, thank you. They're like, because of this. There's this sense that the relationships with other people, connections with other people, entanglements with other people, or a particular person, whatever way it falls, this person is, like I said, feels at the mercy of others. So what I'm sensing is a removal. That's a strong word. Removal? Sure. I feel that someone is restricted from their independence. And that's so weird, because I think I'm talking about two adults. If this is like a parent-child relationship or older, younger person, and, I don't know the context of it, but if we're talking about two grown adults, two supposedly, or at least supposed to be independent people, I feel there's actual codependency or interdependency, or this feeling like I can't do this unless they say so, or I can't go here unless they approve. And we'll clarify probably. We'll probably end up clarifying that Eight of Swords. They're like, go ahead. So this Queen of Pentacles is here. Now, I'm getting the sense that this is associated with the Earth sign, so you don't have to be dealing with an Earth sign, so Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. So that this person does not have to be an Earth sign or anything like that. But what I was getting was controlling, right? Controlling. And it doesn't have to be a female just because it's a queen, by the way. I'm getting, in some particular sense, there's a dependency on what this person provides. Queen of Pentacles, nurturers, right? Kings and queens both have the ability to give of their suit to provide the element or the suit that they preside over. So this person, Queen of Pentacles, provides nurturing in the sense of money, stability, food, home, shelter, all that stuff, right? And I think it's like two adults. Friends, partners, spouses, roommates, whatever. It doesn't have to be in the home, so it could also be in the workplace. Boss to employee, employee to employee, your cohort. It could be something. It could be something as not arbitrary, because it is important, and this is how people, go about their daily lives. But it could be something where someone's down on their luck. And 2020 has been a year where so many people are down on their luck, right? So this could be somebody who, has come up on hard times, had to sell their car in order to continue to make ends meet. And then they go to their friend who works at the same place. Hey, do you think I could ride with you to work every day to keep the lights on and do all this other kind of stuff? And this friend says, sure. What I'm getting initially, and we might go a little further with this person, I don't know that they know that they're doing this to this person, or this person feels this way in their connection. I'm not sure. But this person says, hey, yeah, no problem. Sure. You can ride with me. No problem. Maybe, just like chip in for gas money every once in a while, something like that. And it's a copacetic understanding. It's a fair deal. or it works that way for a while. But internally, the person who's in need, the person who's asking for the favor, the person who, again, feels like they're at the mercy of someone else, they are convinced that they'll never recuperate. They'll never be able to stand on their own 2 feet. More about this person. So in that specific scenario where someone's doing a favor for another person, and they don't necessarily live together, or their lives are not as intertwined, I think it's a little more copacetic. I think it's a little bit more peaceful, where the relationship becomes closer, further or deeper bonds, right? Again, roommates, family members, spouses, even parent to child, but not like a little child, like an adult child, there might be, again, more of an overreach or more of an impact with this idea of control, right? And I really feel like codependent for the bare necessities. It's not codependence emotionally. It's not this is like really hardcore in the material world. Depending on someone to pay the bills, depending on another person or a connection to keep the lights on, to keep the gas and the water bill paid, all that stuff. Somebody brings home the bread and butter, basically, or excuse me, brings home the bread and butter, brings home the bacon, and somebody else is just like, thank you for bringing home the bacon. Could I have a slice? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, someone feels incapable to match this person, to be out of this person's control. And I'm not sure that this Queen of Pentacles consciously, in many cases, not all, in many cases, is consciously doing that. In some cases, yes, it's definitely a control thing. It's definitely a carrot on a stick, or like something that's dangled over somebody's head. Now, if you want me to pay the rent, here's what you have to, it could be that. That's the, yes. In some cases, it's like a weird power dynamic. Like somebody might have a lot of money and they don't mind giving it to whoever is in the Eight of Swords. But then what the Eight of Swords person has to do in exchange for the money might be, if I'm honest, might be not so dignified. Or at least this person feels that way. They feel they don't have any, their sense of dignity and self-esteem is like in the toilet. Because I'm trading this for that. And if it's hard times because of the pandemic, or even outside of it, thank you, they're like outside of it. They're like, yes, 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 outside. This has possibly been made, quote unquote, worse because of the pandemic. If someone's come up on hard times, right? But this existed before then, especially if we're talking about like a child and parent relationship, which came up in a reading I did yesterday. Who was that for? I think it was Scorpio. Might have been Virgo. I think Scorpio for sure. But anyway, I'm just remembering. You don't have to be dealing with a Scorpio at all. But let's go ahead and clarify. I think the sun, like I said, is in the mix in that in the future, down the line, there's something to be hopeful for. There's something to strive for. There's something to be assured of, that things will get better, right? Or there's a revelation coming, a reveal. Something is coming to light about this connection that hopefully is helpful to you. So let's go ahead and clarify. I want to clarify both of these, actually. So let's clarify the Eight of Swords for Aquarius. Why is the Eight of Swords here? Hermit. And the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here? Clarify the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. And Two of Pentacles. Okay, so this has now become, pardon me, this, see, choking me up a little bit. This has now become a little more contentious. Oh, almost dropped that. excuse me, this has become, it's more difficult now that I've clarified. Because for the Eight of Swords person, and Aquarius, I think you would mostly be here in the Eight of Swords, but you honestly could be on either side of this. So please put yourself where you are. Recast as you need. If it's not even you, you could be like watching people go through this. You don't have to be a part of the main story. But Hermit, primary major arcana for Virgo, and Nine of Pentacles. A lot of emphasis on the material and the physical, I swear to you. Like, there's someone who's having a spiritual issue, because, you know, I feel this Hermit is seeking clarity, seeking answers, seeking insight, wanting to find disturbances or find where the issues lie. And, well, that's the thing. The Hermit can diagnose. Hermit energy, again, related to Virgo, which is, I always talk about this, sixth house energy. And one of the big things about sixth house to me is this aspect of caretaking and nursing. And what do you do? When you go to the hospital, when you go to the doctor's office, who do you see first? The nurses. Do they actually diagnose? No. Or do they actually do treatment? Right? They might, you know, take your symptoms down, report it to the doctors, and then they might deliver the script to you. Well, here's what the script is. The doctor said take these pills or whatever, or they explain what's going to happen to you, but they don't actually have, you know, all the time the power to really treat you. So there's just like this highlighting, showing it, drawing a big fat circle around what's going on. That's what the Hermit is. And the Nine of Pentacles is exactly what I was saying that the Eight of Swords person doesn't have. Independence. Doesn't feel confident. Doesn't feel that they can provide for themselves or provide for their family or their friends or whatever, whoever or whatever depends on them. They can't make ends meet. So there's an issue here. There's a wounding here, right? Because that's the other thing in tarot that the Hermit does. He seeks out where the boo-boos are. Where does it hurt? And the Hermit goes on a journey, spiritually speaking, because I don't think this is not about the physical as in the physical body. This is about the physical as in the material, right? So where are you hurt? I'm hurt in my financial sector. I don't have enough money to pay my rent. That is the diagnosis. That's where we can see, all right, we have a hurt there. We don't have enough money in the bank, right? And so I feel this Eight of Swords person quietly, because the Hermit is not a boisterous energy. It's not loud. It's not prominent. It's very singular or solitary, right? So it happens in quiet times, maybe at night. Someone's laying up, staring at the ceiling, contemplating their life, you know, crunching numbers. I can pay this bill Friday, or excuse me, I can pay this bill Tuesday, and then I'm going to get paid Friday, so then I can go ahead and pay the other bill, hopefully a day before the late fee hits. Like, they're really like calculating to the dollars and to the cent, I should say, of where their money is going and when they can pay it and where they can move it to and all this kind of stuff, being kind of strategic. So that's this person's issue, and they feel like it's always going to be this way because of the connection to the Queen of Pentacles. I don't know who the Queen of Pentacles is. Could be a friend, a family member, a spouse, you know, a friend of a friend, you know, a bookie, for God's sakes, a card shark, a loan shark, right? Whoever. So there's this idea of attachment. And for the loan shark, I would not. I'm being facetious with that. But literally, it could be someone that you go to for regular loans. You know what I mean? But there's this binding feeling here with the Justice card and the Two of Pentacles, right? So I don't think that the Queen of Pentacles is really doing anything other than being, for lack of a better word, the cash cow. But they know they are. Or they know that that need is there. And they milk it, sort of. You know? Now, I feel this is complicated because in some of your cases, this could have legal ramifications. There might be, like, I don't sense, well, maybe. You know, I've been having a series of dramatic readings lately, but maybe there's an issue of blackmail here. Like, maybe this isn't necessarily about independence and trying to make your own way in the world, or having enough money to put food on your own table. It could be, okay, I did mention loan sharks, right? So maybe somebody here has put themselves in this state by totally, gambling their money away, poor investments, what have you, what have you, what have you. And they might be in incredible financial debt, not because of a pandemic or, having to, scrape pennies together to make things, continue to function in their house. No, this person is just possibly really bad with money. And if you're in deep with a loan shark or some institution or somebody who has a lot of money and they're charging you interest and they're compounding your debt and they're doing all kinds of crazy things, there might be some legal hoopla over all of that. There might be some legal troubles in this situation. So where am I getting this legal thing from? Justice, right? Justice talks about what is fair, what is balanced, and what is like justice in itself. I mean, the way it's depicted here in this particular card and the way it's often depicted in other decks, it can talk to, law of the land. But what I'm getting here is deeper than that because of what's back here with the Hermit card. Oh, by the way, justice is a major arcana for Libra. You could be dealing with a Libra, but you don't have to be. I'm getting the sense of like karmic justice or like karmic contracts for some of you. And that's a deeper, well, no, they're like, no, don't do that. They're like, don't do that. Because I was like, anyway, if it's a karmic thing, karmic debt, karmic contracts, like I was saying, it's a different ball game than if it's a legal contract. You know what I mean? You have to do different things, or there have to be different procedures in place to kind of get that stuff settled than if it's just straight up, you owe us $5,000, pay us $5,000 by this date and we'll leave you alone. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of, to me, easier, but for you, maybe it's not. Maybe it's the reverse. You're like, I would kill for a karmic contract, Jay, but this legal, debt that I have, it's driving me crazy. It's making me feel like scum of the earth, like I'm trapped. You know what I mean? So anyway, the Queen of Pentacles, if they are aware and they're kind of pulling the strings here and kind of puppeteering or, dangling carrots and all that kind of stuff, they, in some ways, are playing a game because they know that the dependence is on their side. The aspect of how another person cannot walk away with the Two of Pentacles, cannot make decisions on their own. I said that to you earlier. I said that the Eight of Swords person feels like I can't go do blah, blah, blah unless that person over there says it's okay. And I don't know the specifics. Like this has been, if I'm honest, I've seen like several little like vignettes of different stories. Like I said, this could be about between roommates. This could be a parent-child thing. This could be between, business partners. It's so different. But the idea of being indebted to another person, either in the physical world, the material world with money, with property, things like that, and or the karmic debt, the karmic link, that is possible because, again, Hermit is a spiritual energy or deals mostly with spiritual wounding. Physical, real, material wounding, that can happen, but the deep, deep, deep context of the Hermit is to go after those emotional wounds that we have, that we carry with us for many of us, the majority of our lives, right? I feel because it's like living in two worlds, or it's hitting on two different fronts is what that feels like. Now, again, if the Queen of Pentacles is aware that they have this control, that they have this power, they're utilizing it. They're laying heavy on it. They might be guilt tripping in some cases. But the sun is here, and and look, and then I turn over the deck and the moon is on the bottom. So what did I say about the moon? It is the reflection of the sun. So something subterranean here, something beneath the surface in a secret quiet time or quiet place is soon to come to the surface. There might be, like I said, revelations. You might find out news. Someone's fortunes might change, like someone who was really down on their luck financially, they catch a lucky break and they come upon a new job or a new money-making opportunity that allows them to finally free themselves from the actual monetary debt that they have, right? There's something like soon they're telling me, and I snap my fingers. They're like, soon someone's fortune will change. It's not for everybody, because you're all in different timelines and you're all, going to come to this energy at a different point in your lives. Some of you have already lived through this, right? So let's get, all right, very quickly, very, very quickly. Let's do one card of advice for Aquarius. Actually, you have the most cards of anyone that I've done so far. But let's get one card of advice for Aquarius, and then we're going to finish. Yeah? Yes. They're like, go ahead. Go ahead and take that. That's amazing. I don't know the first thing about stacking a deck. No clue in my life. Aquarius. What did I just say? Soon. Someone's fortune will change. Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Go ahead. Secondary major for Sagittarius. Also sometimes associated with the fixed sign. So that's Leo, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and you also Aquarius sometimes. But what was I just saying? Fortune. In time, the sun will come out tomorrow. All this stuff of like being optimistic, not stupidly optimistic, not smiling at every turn. If you're feeling that you're in a painful situation, if you're feeling uncertain, if you're feeling insecure, feel those feelings, but don't stay in that mindset. That's defeatist. That doesn't help you, right? But as your point of advice, the Wheel of Fortune, in time, divine timing, is on the line here. So hold on, Aquarius. I don't know how long you'll have to hold on. A couple of days, a couple of weeks, months, hopefully not years. But there's something here about, like I said earlier at the start of the reading, things naturally evolve. Physically, biologically, temporally, in terms of seasons and time in the world, and how we as humans have decided to mark days on the calendar. Even though 2020 feels like the same day, Groundhog's Day, we're actually moving forward. It is September. We've lived through 7 months of this lockdown stuff for many of us, right? But eventually we won't be in that same scenario anymore. Does that make sense? So that's your advice. I'm going to leave it there. Aquarius, wow. Interesting reading. I thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you want to tell me how this resonates in your life, feel free to leave a comment. Also share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Doing any and all of those things would show great support to me as a reader here on YouTube. If you're not interested in doing a personal reading or even donating to the channel, which you can do through the links down below. If you're not interested in doing that kind of stuff, feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Doing all that keeps me afloat and in the circulating around the YouTube algorithm. So I would greatly appreciate that, okay? Aquarius, I'm going to be back in a little while to do those October readings. So until then, my friends, I thank you all so much for watching. Take care.